around, then we had a nice breather while sort of everyone else jumped around, so sort of lots of rest along the way. And then afterwards, obviously walked her off, took her back to the stables, untacked her, you know, hosed her down, lots and lots of water, and sort of the traditional kind of
just saturating
Yeah.
her rather than scraping
Rather
it
than
off
sort of
again.
scraping it off.
It's a slightly old-fashioned way of doing things, especially with event horses. You know, after cross country, we would wash and immediately scrape, and
Yep.
it was this thing of you had to get the water off as fast as
Yep.
possible. But that thinking's now changed.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
so basically as much water as possible, and you basically want to cover them.
Because I guess it's the whole point of sweating, isn't it? It's the evaporation
Yeah.
process that actually takes the heat away
Yeah.
from the body.
So basically as much cold water as possible, and keep washing until your water's running cool. Because when you first start washing, obviously it's going to be running off quite warm. So keep going until you've got nice cold water running on, and then you can certainly give them a bit of scrape at the end, or to be honest, I tend to just leave mine to drip dry. And
When you say electrolytes now, is that a specific balanced electrolyte, or is simply like a table salt or sea salt okay? Or
I mean, table salt's certainly better than nothing, and that will only sort of really replace sort of the sodium and chloride.
so
A
not
balanced
all of the trace
electrolyte,
elements.
a balanced electrolyte will have your things like potassium and things in as well. So they're pretty cheap and easy to get hold of these days. So if you can, I would certainly recommend that. If you can feed a low dose sort of throughout the hot weather, that's ideal. Obviously, you are coming somewhere like sort of today, like at camp, feeding a few days before you get here would certainly be beneficial. And then obviously the duration, there isn't sort of a particular brand or anything. I would just literally buy some electrolytes.
And I guess that applies to anything when they're sweating in general. I mean, horses sweat when they're travelling, so if they're doing a long journey, then maybe that's a good plan as well.
Yeah,
to help
definitely, just
with
to
the
replace what
recovery.
they lose. Obviously, things like recovery mash and things out there, the horses, it's quite good at also getting the extra fluid into the horses, as well as obviously the salts and things. If you're just relying on that for the salts, you also need to make sure you feed enough of it. You can certainly feed both, one to, you know, sort of really dilute mash to get the extra fluid in, and then some electrolytes as well, just to make sure you've got all the salts replaced.
And Kate, you were saying earlier, weren't you, about trying to encourage horses to drinking more? Like, there
I mean, there's tips and tricks, aren't there, for sort of helping. If you have horses that aren't good at drinking, to get them to drink, isn't there?
I mean, there's certainly lots of things you can kind of flavour the water with. So whether that be a handful of mix, handful of recovery mash, sugar beets, you can even extra strong mints, even just putting sort of cut up bits of apple or something like that into the water, just so almost sort of apple bobbing, just sort of help to take in some extra fluids.